Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm Tommy Blackburn with Mason and Associates, and we hope you're enjoying the content. Please shoot us an email. Let us know if you have specific questions or if there's other areas you'd like us to talk about. Today, as part of the estate planning series we've been doing, we want to talk about revocable trust. What is a revocable trust? Well, on its simplest, it's basically a contract that says assets will be put into this, titled into this, or at my death will flow into it. And here are the terms of this contract that a trustee who administers it, but it's a contract of what's going to happen. Again, you can change this throughout your life as long as you still have your capacity. Basically, your mind is still working correctly. You haven't been deemed that you can't make your own decisions. So you have a lot of control while you're still alive, and you can pretty much do anything you want in a trust as far as saying, here are the terms. A lot of times where these make sense though, so we can do a lot with them. What are we ultimately using them for? One is to avoid probate. A lot of people do not like probate. One, it could have some expense to it. And it's also just a process. It can sometimes be a little slow. I know here in Virginia, there's some counties and cities that seem to move very slow through that probate process. So you can avoid that because this is contract law. So it avoids probate altogether. Probate's also public record. So a nice thing about using a revocable trust is people can't see what went through that or what the terms were. So it's a nice way to have some additional privacy in our life. It's good too in the sense of we can put language in there that says, hey, if I am deemed incompetent, usually it's several doctors have said, this person, you can no longer manage your affairs. Your trustee needs to now step in. Well, that's great because now there's the terms of this trust that you set up that said, hey, when I'm not able to make my own decisions, this person's empowered to, they're going to take care of me per these terms. So it's very good for that. It's also from an estate planning further, like how we control things at our death is pretty big. A lot of times what we see the use for them for is for minors. So if we have minors, we don't want them to inherit a lump sum of money. And maybe even if they're adult children, like college age, maybe they're just not ready to have $1 million with no strings attached. That's what's great about this is one, we can go in and revise it while we're alive, change it as life changes. But if a minor gets it, it's going to say, hey, here's how you get this money. And if it ever comes out of trust and what the terms are. So it gives us that type of control to hopefully help our heirs. Those are kind of the main things that kind of come out to me. Another one is sometimes we want to protect our children from their spouse. So we put it in trust to keep it away from them. Or we even have 40-year-old children that just don't know how to manage money. And this is a way to try to retain it. So that's generally what revocable trusts are used for. They're pretty flexible. Hopefully you've gotten that. We'll say they do create an additional level of complexity in your plan. I don't think they need to be overly complex. We like them to be as simple as they can be, but just realize anytime we start introducing some complexity, there's going to be a little bit more cost and a little bit more administration involved. So we need to weigh that as we factor these. That was a little bit on revocable living trust. I hope it was helpful. We hope you're enjoying the content. Please hit the bell and send us any questions or thoughts you may want to see us talk about. Tommy Blackburn, and we'll be back.